God damn, it seems dead in Jacksonville already. And if he's trying to get fired, would he be the one that's leaking this information? And then whenever he says, if there is a leak, fired fucking immediately, is he talking about himself? It's just a dumpster fire down there, and the Titans covered and did exactly what we hoped they would do, and they did do. The Jacksonville Duval Jaguars are dead. And I think that is something that is a shame. But we should at least have a moment of silence, I guess, for the Urban Meyer-led Jacksonville Jaguar squad. He chose one time not to fly back home with the team after a loss. Said, I got to see the grand babies. That's right. The only babies he saw were those young ladies at the shop house on the weekend.
Couple fingers.
The devil.
He had to answer a lot of questions about that, but then he got back on track and started coaching football.
Oh, yeah.
Forget about the fingers.
And they won. They won a game in London. How'd they win? It's because they forgot about the fingers.
That's right.
And then they came back to America. And they lose. And they lose. And they lose. And they lose. And anonymous sources say, this guy fucking stinks.
Oh.
He's laughed out of meeting rooms. Everybody wants to smack him in the mouth.
Attitude reflect leadership, Captain.
Have a little mirror therapy, pal.
A little bit.
You stink.
You guys ever get yourself one of these? I didn't think so, you losers.
Hey, this one from high school, this one from college, and this one right here, middle fingers open for the NFL. If any of you would stop fucking me over.
Goddamn right.
That's what we're trying to get. Hey, you, defensive coordinator.
What's that?
You got any of these?
No, I don't. I don't, Coach.
That's why I thought you're a fucking loser.
I'm sorry,
You need to
Coach.
stop by the chop. Anyways, they're dead.
Yeah.
And everybody's talking about maybe firing Urban Meyer right now. And Peter King, who is an Ohioan, we learned.
Yep.
Went to the University of Ohio.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah, he did send a very nice text. Thank you, Peter King. With that being said, Peter King, noted Urban Meyer fan, it sounds like, from reading his thing.
Yeah.
Talking about how all of Urban's friends need to let him know, hey, you're in a rebuild, dude. Your team stinks. The sun did come up, do some yoga. I don't know how many people are letting Urban Meyer know that everything's going to be okay, because publicly it sounds like everybody's letting everybody else know that they're in Urban Meyer's world and it's not okay. So I don't know how it plays out, but congrats to the Titans, get a big-time win.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's trying to convince us that everything's, all rosy down there, but it's very obvious everyone in that building thinks he's an egotistical prick and they hate his guts.
Yeah.
Like, you could just tell.
So this is a real thing. Whenever you come in and take over a program,
Sure.
okay, and you have people do push-ups or run laps, in public, and you have all this shit go on, and then you're potentially not living by the mantra that you were telling everybody else to live by, and everything is good if you win. Adults will buy in. Grown people will buy in. I think this is even at I've never been, so I apologize for maybe the ignorance here, but if you go to a company that succeeds and does well, when they tell you to do stupid shit, you'll do it because you know that you're going to get paid and the company's going to do well and you'll keep moving. If it's from a company that you feel like is going to go out of business, whenever they're telling you to do certain things, natural doubt is going to creep in and go, nah, I ain't fucking doing it. That's why this thing stinks, right? I think that happens.
Yeah.
In the NFL, that happens. If you're a coach and you come into a new program and you try to set the culture in the way that you want it to be, and you're a hard ass and everything like that, people will buy in. But if you're not winning, it's going to be hard to keep people to do that. So unless Urban Meyer's going to turn over everybody again and try to get a whole new wave of hey, that we could still do this whole thing if we do this in my particular vision. Because now it sounds like the coaches are turning on him, because the coach would have to be the one that would leak that probably.
Yeah.
Unless it was a player that leaked it because they were so pissed off for a coach, which means the culture maybe isn't as bad in there. If you remove Urban Meyer from it, you keep it going. But you got to win. And if you continue to lose and you embarrass yourself and then these leaks start happening, that's what it is in the men's league of the NFL. That's just how it goes.
That was reported, too, that Marvin Jones actually left the facility because Urban Meyer, reamed out the wide receivers coach, and they basically had to, beg Marvin Jones to come back and that it was okay.
And then him and Urban had it out on the practice field,
Yeah.
allegedly, like right after he did return to practice. And he's a guy who they just gave him a shitload of money in free agency. Like he's supposed to be one of their veterans, like a guy who's there to help like turn the culture around.
Survived Detroit.
Do you have any thoughts on that though? Because Urban Meyer is getting run out of town, laughed out of the rooms, and
I am wondering though. Like, I'm curious, will he be there next year? That's
No, there's
every
no
time I
way.
see them, I wonder that.
everybody, you would be one of the only people that would actually know that. Why don't you
How would I
send a
know?
text?
Come on, dude.
Text who?
Urban. Say, hey, Urban.
Hey,
Peter-
coach. Hey, coach. Hope you're doing well. You think you're gonna have the job after January 10th?
Like,
what am I
pretend
No,
like
it's-
he doesn't know the
you go.
strength.
It's
coach?
all in how you phrase it, dude. So, like, if you listen to Peter King, all right, Peter King said that Urban Meyer's friends need to send him a text and tell him to do yoga.
That's you.
It's an actual quote. You need to maybe send him a text and let's decorate this message. We know at the end what we're going to want. Hey, we want to know if you think you're going to be there or you want to do whatever. But let's decorate it. Hey, pal, you came into an impossible situation. You had no idea what the men's league was like. You thought you knew because you talked to scouts who would come and visit your players that you recruited whenever they were 17 years old. I understand that you were tasked with something that was damn near impossible. To turn around the Jacksonville Jaguars in 1 year, and then the Chop House incident happens. You're just having fun. Fuck. You're just having a good time. You lost everybody, but you're going to come back and be great, right? That's the plan. That's what you do. You let him know that you're on his side. Yeah, it stinks. Not your fault. None of it's your fault. Double guns, you know.
Yeah.
It's a pretty lengthy text. I don't know if he's going to read through this whole thing.
He's looking for something.
Voice memo.
I mean,
Yeah, you should end it with, by the way, what do you want for Christmas? And then
Merry
Yeah.
Christmas.
Merry
lead off.
Christmas, sir.
Okay, maybe start with Merry Christmas. He's like, oh, okay, here's a positive message.
Why did Peter King tell him to do yoga? Was it so he could start performing self-fellatio and he wouldn't have to go to the Chop House over the weekends?
You feel good about that?
Did he talk about any ribs?
Yeah, you gotta take the ribs out.
mention the rib.
Ty, that was a pretty solid take.
That's why nobody will
Eliminate
ever,
the distractions.
dude. Nobody will ever
Welcome to all the new listeners and watchers.
be able to take us serious. I would like to let everybody know that's new. By the way, the opinions of everybody speaking onto these microphones do not reflect that of their peers or their employer. By the way, I'd like to let that be known. But this is a show that lets people go ahead and say their thing, no matter how terrible and wrong it is. Yoga is just to clear his mind.
Would that be that bad though? If that was his goal,
That's what I'm saying.
It's not a crime.
I could see Herbs being like, "Oh boy, yeah, I could just do that, whenever."
All right.
Speaking of taking the show seriously, I'm gonna poop my pants. You care if I go real quick before we get back from serious?
Yeah, we got time. We got
Yeah,
3
you can make
minutes.
it. You can make it. Just stay here.
Poop in a bucket or something.
Come on, man. It's for the show.
He's got his boots on, by the way. He the full.
Good shit, good boots.
Hey, the Halloween tone is everyday tone now. Look at those boots, man.
Jeez.
These boots were made for walking.
Where you're going?
Up in your pants.
That's what I'm saying. With that, a lot of leg movement there for the
know.
potential.
I thought